thank you. We're going to kind of break this up into a little overview and then move right into what's really important, where the startups themselves. So let's get started. So we're going to talk you through real quickly again, and we revisit this constantly. Why are we doing this? Why are we building this thing? And what's the point? And there's plenty of seats up here, folks. So you can come on up. Come on. Don't be shy. Is to foster this innovation using a concept called design thinking. And specifically what we go after is consumer goods and retail. We don't focus on healthcare per se. I've been asked, could we do energy? No. It's consumer goods and retail. We don't do fintech. Come on in. Plenty of time. Let's go. And we're using design thinking to drive the process. So when we start with the startups, the first question is really, who's your customer? Who are they? What do they want? Not what do you want. What do they want? And applying a whole methodology around that. Our values have been something that we continue to work on, and Parsons has been hugely impactful for us. As you know here, we're inside the Parsons space, and we look at this notion of sustainability carefully. It's not always easy to make money on sustainability, but it's important, and you're going to see some efforts on our front there. We really are thinking about the consumption and globally as well as how do we really drive economic well-being and be appropriate in our supply chains. And then we're all about integrity. Our bond is our word is our bond. If we could do without contracts entirely, I would do it on a handshake. Not that I've got diamonds in my pocket, but I'm not a diamond merchant, but I love the way they work, right? Everything's done on words. And so we do really pride ourselves in that and want to be fair to both the founders and to our investors. And then lastly, the two things is the excellence piece of this is we're really trying to provide a way for these companies who might come in a little unpolished, a little rough, a little raw, and come out super finished product, super polished, ready for action at any level. And so to do that, the final thing is the mentoring. And that is, many of you here tonight are here as mentors, really working with the companies, both helping yourself and them dramatically in driving the next level of acceleration. And candidly, I can promise you, you cannot anticipate the things you're going to see tonight. They just don't, they're not obvious. And then when you see them, you go, oh my gosh, that makes tons of sense. So our ecosystem is fairly straightforward. We've got two key anchor sponsors, Parsons and Accenture, and we drive a lot of the ecosystem around that. And we look at this from the vantage point of the ecosystem as it continues to get larger. And we had another event last night. It just helps everyone consistently across the board. So our model is we look at this from the standpoint of we have a venture fund. We've been investing out of that fund, a number of funds actually, one fund per class. And then that fund then supports the entrepreneurs, which are then in the lab, who also receive support from sponsors, some of whom are here tonight. And they in turn receive access and learning from that, but at the same time, they're also driving a lot of value back to the entrepreneurs. And lastly, we continue to work on this notion of a live store. It in itself is an example of how difficult it is in retail right now. You'd think it'd be really easy to raise money to lose money. Every store does, right? Isn't that? No, just kidding. But the reality is that the test and learn model is not something that's natural to most retailers. So the whole notion of that is what we're driving toward in this next phase. We have these sponsorships, as we do today, driving the next level of acceleration and visibility. So at NRF, we've been their prime innovation sponsor for the last few years, and we're doing even more with them this year around the executive tours and helping the executives really understand innovation. We found that to be very successful last year, and so we've stopped curating startups and focused on the sponsors, if you will. And then FTF is a new relationship we have. Karen Harvey runs FTF. It's a real fashion-forward, fashion-thinking tech platform, gets the entertainment side of the industry involved, and that's something that we're really excited about, kind of showing that side of the industry to it. So one of the things that we've learned the hard way is that the content that we have, and it's actually really good, is actually valuable. The content actually is meaningful and can actually deliver value to our corporate sponsors as well as our startups, because we're doing this work anyway. We're researching these businesses constantly. We're having an opinion on AI. We have an opinion on VR. We have an opinion on on-demand manufacturing because it comes from all these startups. And we see what's working and what's not in the industry. And so we're building a practice called workshops that we provide to our sponsors free of charge that give them a real leg up on what's really going on in this space instead of reading, no offense, press clippings most of the time. And then as we look forward, that workshop is the second part of this is what is the organization of the future in innovation? And let me be perfectly blunt. If we try to push startups to large corporates the way they're structured today, they will all fail, for the most part. Because what's happened is the corporates don't understand that the nature of innovation requires a completely different mindset. They say it, but what we really need is a new way of thinking about how to organize for innovation. Requires budget differently. And by the way, not an innovation budget. That's a kiss of death. I can show you 5 companies that have raised an innovation budget, and they've all been shut down because there's no return. The budgets have to come from the businesses have to support the concept, and the council has to get together to make it work. And so that's kind of, ironically enough, we're not consultants, and we would never compete, no interest in competing with any of our partners or other players in the space, but it really does matter that we just can't show them shiny objects, if you will, and expect them to figure it out. Doesn't work that way. So we received 400 applications again this time. They're, again, from all over the world, and we've actually got companies from a number of countries this time, which we're pretty excited about. We'll be showcasing. The same DNA of retail and fashion and consumer continue to populate the interest levels of our startups. And again, wonderfully, with again, no predictive model here, 44% of the companies are run by women. And overall, 46% of all the companies are run by women. And that's 55 companies strong. And again, I could not have predicted, nor do I try to predict this as our model. It's just naturally, we call it natural selection. It's just naturally happening, which is great. We're really excited about that. Okay, so a couple trends, and then I'll turn it over. So we've talked about this, and this is a slide I use a lot. I don't use some other slides that people make fun of me now for, because I use it too often, but this slide's going to stay. But the point I'm going to get to is the next slide. And that is that shoppers are still they're getting more and more fed up. They're just not going to the store. It's not like they've got options now, right? So they're just saying, I don't want to go. And let me give you a little case study. Well, first of all, I showed this the last time, which is the overall impact of this world is that off-price is growing like crazy, luxury is growing like crazy, and everything else is doing badly. Sorry for the cipher hieroglyphics here. I'm not sure it translated well. But, and if you can't figure it out, that's actually, it's an IQ test. No, it's Greek, exactly. But basically, Premier is green, and off-price is red. And so you can see where off-price has been going dramatically, Premier has been growing dramatically, and everything in the middle is getting hollowed out. So why? This is a company I will not mention, very big company. Stock price is going in completely the wrong direction. Would you agree? Not looking very pretty, is it, over time? And so they asked me to do a walkthrough of their stores. And so I did. Oops, where are my slides? What happened here? Sorry. Okay, I'll show you a little bit later. What is working is scarcity. And if you don't know Supreme, go visit the store. If you don't know Kith, go visit the store. All right. Crazy numbers, small footprints. It's scarcity, folks. People don't want a billion of anything anymore. They want something special and different that no one else can get. That's kind of greedy, I get it, but it's fun. There's a charge from it. That's what shopping was about, was the charge. So the whole notion of limited, can't find it anywhere else, got it exclusively. We were talking about Nike Air Jordans from 1983. They're selling for $1,500. What? They're old sneakers. Exactly. Can't get them anywhere else. And then loyalty is changing. It's not about points anymore. Really, it's about brand loyalty. What tribe are you part of? What do you really believe in? What brand believes in you in the same way and gives you back the same kind of set of principles? And then this is my favorite store in the world. This is an American Girl store in Midtown. You got to go to it. You got to see what's going on. It's insane. The girls, like this, it's a mob scene all the time. They're clutching their girls, they're walking around, they're getting their hair done, and it's all about the doll and it's all about them, and there's this transference. It's not them anymore. It's them and the doll, and they're all one, and they objectify the doll, and it's just this crazy dynamic. By the way, dollars per square foot equal to apples, okay? Equal to apples. And they have a price point much, much lower, as you can imagine. The founder, the guys who designed this, he's on the board of Parsons, and he told us a story of the store they designed. And I'll be really quick about it. So they introduced this concept of a passport. If any of you have gone through the American Girl stores, they have this passport. And do you know why they put the passport in place? Because girls were buying too much too fast. They were overindulging. And so they put the passport in place, and they said, okay, you can stamp your passport for the product, and then you have to go off and do something else, and we'll get your product to you later. So they slowed everything down. And they made it an experience instead of like the Price is Right, where you're stuffing your bag as whatever as fast as possible. So it was very, very powerful psychology. Not quite scarcity, but huge identification to the brand. So when we look at the themes and we look at store to consumer, our concern remains still that time is the most precious commodity around. And all of you are wasting my time. Not here. But I can't tell, if you really did time study analysis in a store, you'd be appalled at how much time you waste not getting what you want. It's just incredibly inefficient. Now, it's fine if it's entertainment. You go, great, I love that. Entertain me, fine. Then time doesn't matter. 2 hours in a movie theater, who cares? But if you're 30 minutes in line, or you can't get the product you want, you're wandering around, don't get me started about the latest excursion I had to go into a drugstore today. Oh my gosh. I mean, like, what a nightmare. Can't find anything anywhere. Nothing, none of the labels make sense. I got to always ask someone. It's not terribly efficient when I'm buying a $2 this or a $3 that. And then stores experience. Now, this is the story I wanted to tell, and I apologize because I had my slides wrong. So this executive asked me to go visit their stores. That's the one where the stock price is going like this, right? And I said, okay, great, I'll go. And so I walked through the store, and what I saw here, they said, we've got this new concept. It's the discovery zone. It's awesome. And I walked through this store, and I went back, and I sat in front of all the executives. I said, this looks like a junkyard. This looks like someone's yard sale. Grab it. I said, what kind of language is that? Let's like, take it off my yard. I don't want it anymore. It's what it seems like. Like, this is the mentality, and this is the merchandising going on at a multi-billion-dollar retailer right now. And you've got to ask yourself, who on earth let this happen? It's another reason why their stock price continues to erode. So the idea behind this is that when you think about what is going on is, this is not discovery. This is trash. Discovery has a bit of scarcity, entertainment. Think about what you got excited about. It wasn't just stuff that you had to pick through. That's a dumpster. So anyway, so net is, and they understood that. But this was their model store. This was their model store. This was 3 months ago. This is not like 4 years ago, folks. This is 3 months ago in the midst of that declining stock price. Okay, so not to be negative, but that's not experience. So we're all about trying to drive the next generation of experience. We take risks. Not all these companies will succeed. I can promise you. We tell our investors that. We tell them that. We tell them pivoting. If you haven't learned the word pivot, startups learn that. One of the first words they learn when they come into the class. Don't expect to be doing exactly what you're doing today. It's probably going to change. And so again, it's why we back the startup founder, not the business. So if you kind of look at us like, what's that business? I don't understand it. Don't worry. We don't necessarily understand it either. No, just kidding. Just kidding. But it is important to understand that there's a kernel there and there are people there that are driving this, and that's what excites us the most, because the best companies don't necessarily start from the same place. Okay, so with that, again, we talked about our partners, very super supportive. Accenture and Parsons have been enormous partners for us, and we really respect and value what they've done. Our sponsor community is world-class, and it covers brands and retailers, trade organizations. We're in now beauty, which we're super excited about because we believe that beauty is one of those frontiers where consumerism and entertainment all come together. And then lastly, we've got some really excellent advisory council partners. These are companies too small to be really kind of sizable enough to really merit what I'd call full-scale attention, but they are willing to partner with our startups really fast. So they will trade cash for time, which we are happy to do, because our sponsorships cost money normally. Okay. And with that, I bring this to Carly Ann. Oh, I'm supposed to do this too? Sorry. Okay, got it. Carly Ann drives this, so I just follow her lead. So our team has developed over time. We're really proud of this team, because it's a team that includes not just Carly Ann, the director, but Holly, one of our managing directors, Rima, who's now moved into a principal role, Michael Kaplan is somewhere here. Michael sold his last startup and has lots of scars and cash register sales to show for it, which we're very excited for him on. But at the same time has brought a lot of value to the plus size market and continues to help us. Susie has been extraordinarily helpful, continues to be in terms of communications. And when she's a communications coach, she's helping me more than anyone else, honestly. So I take a great value in that. We've added some new team members in Ashley and Paolo. And then we've got a great associate group that are coming out of NYU, Parsons, and Columbia, who've added a ton of value to our overall program. Okay. Last but not least are our portfolio companies, and they range, we have 55 now. We have only had one go out of business. I expect more, I promise you. Again, that's the way it works. Some of them are hanging on by a thread, literally a thread. But that's their DNA, and we support them. Everyone makes decisions. They're making some that are good and some that are not so good. Of all these, they're all different and exciting, and we won't bore you with all the details on all of them, but I'm happy to talk off your ear if you ever want to talk about any of them. And so last but not least are our affiliates, which are companies that we don't back, support financially yet, but we will provide all kinds of accessory support. We believe in them. We're not sure the product's there yet. The concept might be there, not quite polished enough yet for us to fund, but certainly valuable enough for us to be spending time with. And then we have a group of young entrepreneurs who are providing tons of support to us, and I'm going to leave that to Carly Ann to also provide color commentary. Carly Ann, welcome.
Thank you, panel. And hello, everyone. Thank you again for being here. My name is Carly Ann Fergus, and I'm the director of XRC Labs. And I know, you guys are dying to meet our Cohort 6 founders, so I'm going to jump right into it so you can get back up and get to the networking. So first up, we have Kobe Wu, who is the founder and CEO of Visual.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kobe Wu. I am by no means the spokesperson for the cohort, but I think I can safely say thanks for coming in the rain. Thank you so much for being here. So my name is Kobe Wu. I'm the founder and CEO of Visual Technologies. Visual is simply a means for advertisers to easily connect with their consumers authentically and at eye level. We provide measurement with our computer vision technology, and we provide incremental revenue to vacant storefront windows. Visual is a data-driven marketplace. We are able to brands can easily access locations in the neighborhoods they choose. We are able to provide our computer vision technology behind a big, pretty picture that sits in the window. Imagine your brand in the window, and a compact computer vision sensor behind that image that counts the traffic and gives you information about the people walking by. Excuse my phone. Consider now some of your favorite storefront or favorite neighborhoods. Soho is one of mine. Lots of vacancies. Brown paper, broker information. Now envision your brand in the window. Now envision being able to count exactly how many people walk by, if they're looking at the window, and how long they're looking at the window, and if it's a male or a female, if they're happy or sad, approximate age. That's some information that I think a lot of brands, and not for nothing, a lot of landlords are interested in. I come from about 20 years of marketing. My most recent job was working for Sean Combs and managing his portfolio of brands that span spirits, apparel, and even cable network television. We worked very hard every day to optimize our media spend, and we often tried to find the most innovative ways to connect with our consumers. While I was at Combs, I was working on my MBA at Stern, NYU. Whoop, whoop, go Knights. And while I was there, I worked with some of my colleagues, and we challenged ourselves with the question, what will we do with vacant storefront windows? Brands, there's lots of vacancies. I know for a fact that brands want to connect with people in innovative ways. I know that we want real ROI, and I know that landlords probably need some money during their downtime. Visual is purely an innovative use of existing infrastructure without having to build anything, and it provides ROI in meaningful ways, and it also gives incremental revenue. So, sorry. I have been working, and Visual has been generating revenue for about a year now. And about half of our clients are interested in just the data alone. So we've been deploying our technology in Windows, and some of them are active retailers, and most of them are vacant. But what we're doing now is aggregating a bunch of information that provides insights that for a lot of different use cases. What kind of people are walking by? Potentially, what are the peak periods of the year that would be the best time to, promote your brand? What kind of occupant would do best in that location? Visual is simply eye-level media in just a few clicks. And we go where billboards don't. Thank you.
Thank you, Kobe. Up next, we have the CEO and founder of Simplista, Evan Silver.
Hello, my name is Evan Silver, and I'm the founder and CEO of Simplista. Simplista fast-tracks products from supplier to shelf in 1/10 of the time. We help retailers realize greater margins and achieve higher velocity. Now, unlike other data management tools, such as Informatica and Stebo, who are complex, generic, and by the way, expensive, Simplista is a dream for category managers who have SKU-intensive businesses, such as food, apparel, and general merchandising. And we enable real-time listing. So what does that mean? We get new products in the hands of consumers in days, not weeks and not months. And we've seen from a pilot the success of the supply chain and the dramatic gains in the bottom line. Retail listing today is slow, it's eroding, and it's costing retailers millions of dollars in annual dollars. Let's take, for example, this can of hairspray. It takes several hundred data points between, let's say, 200 and 2,500, and teams and teams of people to collect all the information to get this product onto a shelf. And that's both physical and digital. Now, think for a moment. Large grocers are listing several 100,000 new products every single year. So the back and forth that's going on is just unreal. A little bit about me. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've successfully built up a consulting company, and we won a contract at Canada's largest retailer, Loblaw, to solve their listing problem, and we solved it. I saw the benefits there, and I developed a cloud-based, highly scalable solution for all manner of retail, Again, both bricks and clicks. Some of the benefits that Loblaw has seen post-implementation, they've seen their listing times go down from 4 weeks to days, and in some cases even hours. They've seen better margins on new products. They've seen increased revenues and smoother operations. Simplista, product listing simplified. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to chatting with you afterwards.
Thank you, Evan. Up next is Reloved. Let's learn more about Reloved from the CEO and founder, Haley Lieberman.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Haley Lieberman, and I'm the founder of Reloved. Reloved is a digital marketplace that facilitates the exchange of used kids' clothing for moms with kids under the age of 7 in a social network setting that they can trust. We have a platform that is easy to use, provides really interesting, cool content for those cool moms out there, and it promotes sustainability. Our platform generates the greatest financial return compared to any other platforms that we're seeing today in the kids' clothing retail space. So it's really important that we actually have a model like this coming up. Because we have created a platform in which moms can shop one another's kids' clothes throughout their social friend networks, they also know then that the product they can trust, right? That's a big problem in the resale space now is how do you trust the product that you're getting? So this eliminates that question. We use a unique membership-based point system that is actually what creates a greater value. Our value is a one-to-one model. Compared with, let's say, a site like ThredUp, a really popular reseller right now. So on ThredUp, if one posts a baby Gap dress, let's say, that costs $30 at retail, they'll expect to see that dress posted for $9.99 on the site, and the seller will generate maybe 50 cents for that dress. Whereas on Reloved, if we're posting that same dress, a seller can actually get the same dress traded with another mom at the same value. I created Reloved after years of being a successful fashion stylist and costume designer. I am also a mom of twins, and so I know firsthand just how quickly kids grow in and out of these really good clothes, and how there's no clear platform to exchange these clothes with other moms. So I created Reloved. Reloved at this point is generating membership by the minute. We increased our membership by 330% in the last week alone. So Reloved, there's retail, and then there's resale, and there's Reloved. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Haley. Next up is Planista. And now Samantha Ayala, the CEO and co-founder, will join us to tell us more about how Planista works.
Thank you, Carly-Ann. And thank you, everyone, for being here. So my name is Samantha Ayala, and I am the co-founder of Planista. At Planista, what we are is a machine learning marketing platform that automatically generates e-commerce content marketing strategies. So it's very different than today's current marketing mishmash of screenshots, spreadsheets, analytics, and really messy workflows. So at Planista, we are really building on top of a brand's existing analytics, and we are generating new competitor information to drive more revenue to e-commerce brands. So let's take, for example, the holiday season. What we are doing for our customers is we are suggesting which products, which sales, which promotions they can be marketing on their homepages, their emails, and any overlays on their websites. We really want to do the thinking and the hard work of marketing for our brands. We also generate a weekly email for them that provides them with competitor insights, so that they can see how their competitors are doing in their commercial pressure for any period of time. And why did I start Planista? So basically, I worked in e-commerce for 10 years. My co-founder is a software engineer and has a really proven track record at Amazon and Squarespace. I lived firsthand these inefficiencies in the marketing world. I mean, marketers are really overwhelmed with data and analytics. As an e-commerce director, my team would spend 50% of their time in simply communicating and executing their content marketing campaigns, but they didn't spend enough time in strategizing. And 37% of marketers today are saying that their content marketing is failing due to the lack of time in strategy and time in execution. And at Planista, we are fixing that. So we are really happy to say that we have several pilots at brands like Bluefly and One Kings Lane. And one of these brands has recently called to say that Planista is really transforming their email and their homepage process. And we really hope to do more for them this year. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Samantha. Next up is Fabulist. Now I'd like to invite up Prem Bienpali to tell us more.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm Prem Boinpali. The founders of Fabulist are still in India, so I'm representing them, and I'll introduce you to Fabulist. My role at Fabulist, I'm a seed investor and advisor with Fabulist, and I've been for 2 years with them and been through their journey of the evolution of the entire product. Right? So what does Fabulist do? Fabulist is an AI platform that translates contextual images into textual tags. In other words, we have transformed the way the products are being tagged. Right? In the manual world that it has today, what it does is it takes a lot of time to do this manual tagging. What we do at Fabulist is provide speed, more design and style parameters, and deeper context, which will lead to more comprehensive and accurate queries, right? But what does accurate and comprehensive queries really mean? It eventually translates to cost reduction and more revenue opportunities. How? Right? So assume you have a new catalog of 10,000 dresses that you have to onboard. In the manual process, it probably take you about 1 to 2 weeks. With Fabulist, it will take you real time, which translates to speed, which translates to more design and parameters, and which also translates to removes the personal bias of the guy who's manually tagging them, right? And when you remove speed and when you remove people who have to do these things, it amounts to cost reduction and faster to time to market, right? It also does, now where is the revenue opportunity, right? In manual tagging, you probably would add more like 5 tags per image. With a Fabulous platform, you can add more than 15 tags to the image, which will lead to more comprehensive queries. And the way it does is it adds more design and style parameters and more contextual tags. And these and the best thing about these contextual tags are they come from the marketplace, the more from trends in the industry. And how does that work? So for example, what does it even mean, right? Say, I don't know, if it's Kim Kardashian or Queen of England or a new brand Zara, whatever be the reason, there's a new trend in the market, right? And you as an e-commerce, you want people will eventually want to search that item, whether it's, I don't know fashion as much as my wife would, but say it's a squared neck, right? And people want to search a squared neck because it's a new trend, and there's no such tagging today with this particular e-commerce portal. Fabulist can immediately, in real time, classify your entire product catalog with that next tag. And that'll improve your queries by 30% more search queries, including aspirational ones like, hey, I want a short, black, strapless cocktail dress, right? What are the chances you'll be able to search that on an e-commerce website, right? So when you do that, what that will lead to is higher conversion rates, right? And higher conversion rates means it's more revenue. Now, yes, I've used the buzzwords that we hear every day: AI, conversion rates, more revenue, cost reduction. But where is the proof in the pudding, right? We've already onboarded 3 big retailers in India: Flipkart, which you all probably know, Walmart recently bought it, and Myntra, and Reliance, which is probably 50% market share in India. And we've onboarded them. It's in production, and it's early days, but we are beginning to see that increase in conversion rates for these clients. And we've been onboarded through competition. It's not like we've had a relationship there or something. They've included firms from US, from all over Asia, wherever. And we've been through a competition process, and then we've had better results. And today they're in production, and we are beginning to see these conversion rates, right? And once our plan now is to maybe become and help US retailers now, right? Move here and see what value we can add with US retailers. And the fun thing about Fabulist in the last few weeks was after we onboarded these customers, we've tagged almost 1 million images so far, products, and hopefully that'll become more like 1 billion by 2020, right? So the team. The founding team. The founding team is Vikas, Vishal, and Komal. Their background is they worked with Microsoft in AI space. And after that, prior to Fabulist, they founded an AI-based healthcare startup which they launched and exited. After they exited, they were looking for a bigger problem to solve. They've been researching all around the place. And they realized that 84% of e-commerce websites, they don't have basic tags, right? Which is an enormous space and a good pain point to solve, which has opportunities for cost reduction and increasing revenue. And that's how they ended up starting Fabulist. And then what am I doing with them, right? I've been in the analytics space for a while, and whenever I look to hire a person or invest in a team, the biggest thing I look for is not their ability to find solutions, but their ability to ask the right questions. I mean, you can be from MIT, Stanford, IIT, wherever you're from. If you're not solving the right problem, I don't think you're going to find success. And I believe this founding team have asked the right questions and they're solving the right problem, and I believe they will be successful in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you, Prab. Next up is Hai Hu, the CEO and co-founder of Retail Deep.
Hello, my name is Hai Hu, CEO and co-founder of Retail Deep. We are a facial integration platform, help retail engage, recognize, and monetize your best customers. As of 2018, 70% of retailers are trying to bring personalization to their stores. According to Accenture, 64% of consumers are willing to give away their personal information in exchange of more personalized in-store experience. However, 1 out of 5 of them gets what they want, and that's why we're here to help. Our product, which can be set up by yourself in minutes, fully integrates with major POS and online data, creating an omni-channel profile for every customer, making it a turnkey solution which is accessible and, more importantly, scalable. For example, when a customer walks into a store, we'd be able to tell you who they are, what they've purchased, and what they have in their online shopping basket, and more importantly, suggest what they should buy today. Empowering your associate with that actionable insight, we help you bring personalization to the stores. My co-founder and I, both PhDs, spent 15 years together researching machine learning and software engineering, published over 30 papers on those. We then started a company similar to Amazon Go in Shanghai, which actually be the first one in Shanghai, in China. In the process of implementing this tremendously prospective technology, facial recognition, to a retail environment, we noticed the gap and the challenge of the scalability. Well, Amazon didn't scale it, and the talent gap for retailers to do it themselves. So we founded Retail Deep, trying to build a simple turnkey solution that every retailer can implement in minutes. For example, we helped Pocket Noir, a Chinese digital retail chain of over 100 stores, launched in 8 cities, 15 stores in less than a month's time with a remote support engineer based in Nova Scotia, Canada. Our solution at Pocket Noir now recognize and monetize over 1,000 VIP customers per day, directly contributing over $60,000 worth sales and revenue. We are retail deep. We bring personalization to the stores. If you're interested, talk to me after this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hai. Next up is Oliver Shuttlesworth with Curie.
Like the pizzazz. Hello, my name is Oliver Shuttlesworth, and I'm the founder and CEO of Curie. We are a modern lifestyle brand making premium, plant-based hair and body care products for the modern consumer. We know that what we put on our bodies matters, but we also know that the personal care industry can be accused of prioritizing profits over people. So we are building a brand that actually gives a damn. We're a vertically integrated company, and we have full control over production, distribution, and the user experience, where the customer is always first. For example, if you've ever taken the time to look at the back of your shampoo, I know that you have seen things that you can't pronounce, much less understand the safety of. At Curie, we are committed to total transparency. One part of that equation is a full and comprehensive glossary of the ingredients that we use in our products, so customers have full control and understanding of what they're putting on their bodies. Prior to starting Curie, I was the founder of a socially conscious accessories brand that was distributed across 16 countries on 4 continents. As I was building that brand, I learned a lot about what the modern consumer demands. For instance, 9 in 10 millennial customers will switch brands to support one that more closely shares their values. As I looked out at the broader marketplace, I saw an enormous white space in the value segment of the hair and body care industry. So at Curie, we've set out to democratize hair and beauty for modern customers. Since our soft launch in February, we've seen a conversion rate of 3%, a net promoter score of 70, and recently Urban Outfitters reached out to us asking if we would be interested in working with them. We are Curie, and what you put on your body is just as important as what you put in your body.
Thank you, Oliver. And last but not least, I'd like to introduce Genevieve Liston, founder and CEO of Love That.
Hello, my name is Genevieve Liston, and I am the founder and CEO of Love That. So Love That is a self-serve product placement platform that not only makes it possible, but makes it super easy for brands to get their products directly into the hands of the consumers using emerging media channels like Airbnb, Uber, and WeWork. We exist because even in this modern day, product trial is important, even more so in this modern day. But the problem is that traditional marketing channels lack authenticity, and most important, they lack contextual relevance. The power of our platform is that we connect the brands directly to their consumers in a way that actually makes sense not only to the product, but to the brand and the consumers. We started, for example, how this actually plays out in real life is if you enter into an Airbnb, you walk into the kitchen, the guest arrives, opens the fridge, and there's a blue apron pack waiting for them. There's a note on it which says, "Don't worry about your first night's dinner, we have it sorted for you." They then wander into the bathroom where they find the latest range of L'Oreal products waiting for them. And then finally, they go to sleep on their purple mattress, wake up the next morning from the best night's sleep of their lives with a note that has a QR code attached to it. They scan that, directly purchase the product, and the product is home before they even get there. I started this because I was working for Uber, doing a lot of product placement and brand activations with them. What I saw from that was 3 key things. The first being that brands were willing to spend money and were looking for innovative new channels to reach their target audience. The second thing that I noticed was there was a huge market trend towards brands, particularly e-commerce brands, wanting to take an omni-channel approach to reaching their consumers. It wasn't enough anymore just to go direct consumers online. They were needed to find innovative ways to reach them directly. And then the final thing was the size of the network. On any given night, there are 2 million people staying in Airbnbs. There are 40 million people traveling in Ubers each month. This is a network that is unbeatable in terms of scale. So we love that, and we get brand in hand at the point of need. Thank you.
Thank you all for this. These startups have not had much rehearsal time at all and done a phenomenal job. We have one more company that we will simply just mention, dog food. And we'll leave it at that. Let you guess what this is all about. But it's stealth. Anyway, I want you to all give a round of applause to these incredible startups. Spend some time with them and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you for coming.